Hello and welcome on in. It's the George on Tap show. Today, what's on tap in the sports world? We try to come up with a bunch of cool what's going on in sports, and it's the slowest time in sports. Olympics are done. There's no more Euros. Today, the Premier League starts. I'm a big Tottenham Hotspur supporter, so that's why I'm wearing the team's kit today. You see, I got a nice little uh, scarf behind me too, starting here in 35 minutes. So tune in if you want. It's on USA TV. Maybe that will become everyone's favorite team here. That follows me too. We can all follow the Tottenham Hotspur together. All right. So today we have a bunch of topics, but before we get started, if you like to bet on sports, make sure you use Underdog. That's our special sponsor of this show. Underdog gives you like daily fantasy, but like player props. And we use promo code ONTAP. If you use promo code ONTAP, you'll get up to a 50% bonus, up to 1,000 US dollars. That's new. And you get a play of a day, which is today is Shohei Ohtani, only for first time depositors, just to get a plate appearance in our betting show, which is you can find in the link in the description at the Sports on Tap. We built out Tristan Cassis over half a total base, Eugenio Suarez 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and Jackson Merrill 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. It pays 10x if you use Ohtani in your first time depositor, or it pays 6x if you are just a returning user. So make sure you use promo code ONTAP and you'll be able to get that bonus and the play of the day. But let's start off with our first topic today. And that is, let's talk NFL quarterback. So we're going to be doing something here almost every single week. And we're going to call this the Three Kings and the Three Stooges of NFL quarterbacks. Who are the three best quarterbacks in the NFL at the moment? And who are the three worst? Sorry to call you guys stooges. You're better at football than me. But we're calling you stooges today because it's, come on, catchy name. Three Kings, Three Stooges. Let's start off with the Three Kings first. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback and best player in the NFL, despite Tyreek Hill somehow getting voted as the best player in the NFL. No, 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 and no. It is Patrick Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen. He's the best player in the NFL. He's the unstoppable force. He's the one who's winning Super Bowls over and over again. Tyreek Hill won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, leaves the Chiefs. They win back-to-back Super Bowls. Tyreek Hill is not the best player. But anyway, the number one king is Mr. Patrick Mahomes. King number two, reigning MVP, couple plays away from getting to the Super Bowl, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is fantastic despite his haters. Lamar Jackson is the most electric quarterback in the NFL when you want to combine the running and passing. And Lamar Jackson's also one of the most scrutinized quarterbacks in the NFL because he hasn't won the big game yet. And once we get to our NFL season preview here, right before the season starts, I think this is the year that Lamar Jackson finally will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. So he's definitely a king joining Patrick Mahomes. And the third king, also AFC. I'm not saying Trevor Lawrence, even though I'm a big Trevor Lawrence fan. And I think this year he's going to find a way to explode into the top three at some point in my season. It's Josh Allen. Josh Allen dynamic. The Bills are good, and everything in like the whole entire Buffalo Bills roll and revolve around Josh Allen. He's good. Can't be Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. You get nervous for him that this is what's going to happen in Buffalo because that's what happens in Buffalo, that he never wins a Super Bowl. But damn, he's a good player. All right, let's talk about our three stooges here. I'm sorry, got to put him, Daniel Jones. He looked absolutely horrific in that preseason game this weekend. He can't throw the football. He makes too many mistakes. I don't know how he earned himself a $150 million plus extension. He got the money. He has a beard now. Good for him. He looks a little more swag. But Daniel Jones is just not a good quarterback in the New York Jets. I feel bad for Brian Daboll because don't fire him. Like, this is a public service announcement. They're going to have a bad season. Do not fire Brian Daboll. I saw something. Malik Neighbors, prayers to you. I know nothing happened, but Daniel Jones is your quarterback. Horrible, man. I just feel bad for the New York Giants fans. Next one. I like the dude. Will Levis Levi, whatever his name is. Good, cool dude. Rocket arm. Just don't think he's that great of a quarterback. I don't think he's going to be very good. Um, and I just think in general, just not a guy you want as your long-term starting quarterback in the NFL. He's going to get a chance this year, but I think he's more of a career backup than an actual starter. And the third one is Jacoby Brissett if he starts. I was going to have Jared Stidham in there, but I think Bo Nix is going to win that job. And the guy is just not very, very, very good. He's a serviceable, come in, play a few games type of starter, but he's definitely not a guy you want in there for the rest of your season if you're trying to make the playoffs. Which, by the way, the New England Patriots are definitely not trying to make the playoffs. All right, let's next talk about what's on tap. Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is so freaking hated by all the players in the WNBA. And there's a clip that was going viral this week about earlier in the season. Diana Taurasi was like, oh, she's going to need to earn her stripes. These are real big women here. It's easy to do it against the NCAA. You guys are so freaking jealous of Caitlin Clark because she's damn good. She's already broken the rookie record for most assists in a season. The Fever right now are making a push for the playoffs. The Fever are the most watched team. I saw something. The two most watched basketball games this year was Caitlin Clark in the finals and the U.S. men's Olympic basketball team. And in that order, Caitlin Clark is a hot ticket and she's hated. People hate Caitlin Clark. And not for any reason other than probably some racial things in there. You have to say it. Maybe she's gotten her flowers earlier than people like as well. She's been dominating. She looks good. They had a ridiculous schedule coming off her NCAA Final Four championship appearance, and now she's finally gotten some rest after the Olympics. Which, by the way, Diana Taurasi, the WNBA All Stars against the Olympics team, Caitlin Clark beat you guys against the Mercury. She also beat you guys. Get used to it. Caitlin Clark has taken over the WNBA, and it made me want to make out a list here. A list. 5 athletes who are hated for no particular reason and just get way too much hate. And number 1, we just talked about her, Caitlin Clark. Why does Caitlin Clark get all this hate? Beats me because she's good. Number 2, LeBron James. LeBron James has gotten so much more hate than he deserved throughout his career. He's been nothing but a model citizen off the floor, never been in trouble. Not only made expectations, but exceeded expectations. If I told you this guy's getting all his attention coming out of high school and he becomes the second greatest basketball player to ever live, would you hate him? Absolutely not, nor should you. Bryce Harper. Oh, he broke some unwritten rules in baseball. So what? The guy is an electric factory. He's fun to watch. He gets people tuning into baseball, which seems a little bit hard. The guy is just freaking amazing, and he just got way too much hate. Russell Wilson, and I'm one of them. Don't love him because he's corny. People don't like corny people. He seems disingenuous, and I feel like people are just so happy to see him fail, myself included. I'm telling you guys, this list, some of them, they apply to me. Russell Wilson's been hated, and he's as a Seattle Seahawks fan. I'm a Seahawks fan, and I never loved Russell Wilson. The guy got a little bit too much hate, and probably not so deserved. And the last one on the list, and it's going to get us to our next topic afterwards, is Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is getting so much hate from casual fans because he painted his fingernails or he got some hype or the NIL deal. I think a lot of it has to do with the NIL deal. But that's another guy who gets way too much hate, not deservedly so. And Caleb Williams finishes off our list. What's on tap? Caleb Williams. We just talked about him for a moment there. Let's talk about him again here from a moment now. I said that Caitlin Clark gets a lot of hate, and Caleb Williams also gets about the same amount of hate as Caitlin Clark. Sure, some people are getting excited watching his highlights here before the season starts, and rightfully so. Do you see that throw he made in the preseason? Here's a list of quarterbacks who can make that throw: Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes. That's the list. The guy's good. The guy's probably going to rescue the Bears franchise. The Bears probably finally have a quarterback that they could sit there and say is, hey, we might have a franchise quarterback that can win an MVP award one day and win us a Super Bowl. Not their defense win us a Super Bowl. He can win us a Super Bowl. And the Bears have never been able to say that. They thought they might have had that with Jay Cutler. Never came into fruition. Why do people hate him? Well, he painted his nails. He cried. He said he wanted to go lay down with his dog. People like the tough football players, me included. But he's good. People don't like that he made so much money in his NIL deal. Well, that's jealousy. I want to give you 5 reasons why we should be excited about Caleb Williams. Number 1, the Bears have never, ever, ever in the history of their franchise ever had a quarterback as good as Caleb Williams. Has the potential to be. And that should make Bear fans excited. That should make NFL fans excited. Because good quarterbacks on a team like the Chicago Bears, an iconic organization, is needed. And we finally have it with Caleb Williams, and then fans just want to find a way to hate on the dude. Don't. The guy's fantastic. Number 2, his style is exciting. A little bit of Patrick Mahomes to him. A little bit of gunslinging Brett Favre to him. He's going to take risks. He's going to play off script. And that's fun football. Don't you want to tune in on Sunday Night Football, which, by the way, the Bears had a lot of Sunday Night Football games throughout the years, and watch something exciting at quarterback? I think so. I think I want to watch the Chicago Bears with an exciting quarterback. Number 3, he's the closest thing we've seen physically to Patrick Mahomes. And look, no one is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes has already won 3 Super Bowls in 5 starting seasons? He's not Patrick Mahomes. But he's the damn closest thing we've seen to it, arm-wise, movement-wise, stylistically. We love watching Patrick Mahomes. We're going to love watching Caleb Williams. Trust me when I say we're going to love to watch Caleb Williams. Number 4, and this should get you excited, he's controversial. Controversial. Wow. Controversy is good. People like to watch controversial things. That's why shows about serial killers get huge ratings. Shows about the nice guy with his wife and kids don't. Caleb Williams made a lot of money in college. Caleb Williams paints his nails. Caleb Williams says he wants to win multiple Super Bowls. He's controversial, and people hate that. So people are going to tune in. And number 5, the more good quarterbacks, the better. In general, in the NFL, we've seen a lot of bad quarterback play throughout the years. And to me, that's sad. You want good quarterback play in the NFL. You want the most amount of good quarterbacks. You want to tune in and watch good players play football. I don't understand this theory like I want this guy to fail, because at the end of the day, if you don't get good quarterbacks in the NFL, you're not going to enjoy watching the game. I don't want to watch blowouts on Sunday Night Football where the score is 27-3 because one team can't move the ball and has to punt and go to commercial break every 3 minutes. I want to see the game like we saw years ago with the Rams versus the Chiefs, and it was like a 45-41 shootout between Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes. I want to watch football like that. I don't want to watch 27-3 blowouts on Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. The more good quarterbacks we have in the NFL, the better, and that's what Caleb Williams is. He's a good quarterback. He's going to have a good season. He's going to be fun to watch. So tune in to the Caleb Williams Show. I'm telling you guys, you're not going to be disappointed. Speaking of bad quarterbacks, the Pittsburgh Steelers seem like they might have two of them. Maybe I'm wrong here, but how many years am I going to hear that Justin Fields is going to pop? Maybe I'm wrong here. How many years of seeing Russell Wilson washed before I have to say Russell Wilson is washed for sure? The preseason game, Mike Tomlin even called it JV. He was disappointed in his team's offensive performance. Anyone would have been disappointed in their team's offensive performance. There was a throw late in that game where Justin Fields literally had a wide open receiver in the end zone, overthrew him by like 7 yards over his head. The guy still almost caught it because it looked like he had a trampoline, jumped into the air, and just it was the funniest throw of the day. But is Mike Tomlin on the hot seat because of his quarterback fiasco? Look, I have three things to say here, but I love Mike Tomlin before I get into him. But sometimes, even good coaches, Andy Reid in Philadelphia, it just got stale at some point and he had to go somewhere else to win. Fresh blood, fresh regime. Same here with my Seahawks and Pete Carroll. It was just time. And I'm not saying it's time for Tomlin. He just got an extension. But maybe he should be on the hot seat a little bit. Maybe it's time for him to win. Reason one, the offense is still bad for the Steelers, it looks like. Year in, year out, year in, year out, year in, year out. The Steelers still don't seem like they've figured out their offense. How many years in a row do we have to watch a Steelers team struggle on offense but have their identity and go 9-8 or 8-9? Well, they go win a winning record every year of Tomlin. So go 9-8 and miss the playoffs or go out in the first round. Which brings me to my second point. They've been mediocre for years now. Mediocre. The Pittsburgh Steelers are mediocre. When would you have ever thought it's the franchise that is part of a city that is winning? What do they call it? Championship city of champions. They haven't been close. And I love Mike Tomlin. And that brings me to my third point. He's a good coach, but things feel stale now. They just feel stale. They feel like they can't get out of their own way. Feels like it's just the same team over and over again, whether you put in Mason Rudolph, whether you put in Kenny Pickett, whether you put in Justin Fields this year or Russell Wilson. I will not be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers this year are quarterback carousel. 3 weeks of Russ, then bring in Fields, and then bring back Russ and find a way to go 9-8 and do it in an ugly way. And then going into next season, the Steelers are talking about trying to find their quarterback, which is sad because I think they are a quarterback away from being really good. But we know that the best position and the most important position in all of professional sports here in the United States and maybe the world is the quarterback position. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers can't get it right despite getting everything else right. Things feel stale in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if that's going to last. I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach. If he was the Seahawks coach, I'd love him. He's the best person on the podium. He's the best person in an interview. He's the best quote in the NFL at the coaching position. Maybe Harbaugh will take over that now. But he's just not the best at developing an offense or developing a young quarterback. And it's gotten stale in Pittsburgh. I'm not saying it's time for him to go, but it's time for them to put some pressure on him and say, we need to see results. Or, man, you're gone. All right. So those are our 4 topics of a day. This has been the George on Tap show brought to you by the Sports on Tap. Make sure you follow the Sports on Tap for all our betting content. A lot of fun there. We're doing shows, my show here Monday through Friday at around 11:30 a.m. East Pacific time or Mountain time. I'm in Arizona, so we don't do daylight savings. So November that will change. And in the and then our other show, our betting show at 11 a.m. Pacific time right now, or Mountain time or Arizona time. By the way, we got to get rid of daylight savings so this doesn't sound so confusing. If you like to bet on sports, go to Underdog, use promo code ONTAP. You'll get up to a 50% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000, which is a great bonus. That just got activated today for football season. And you can get a play of a day, which is today, Shohei Ohtani, just to get in at bat. So that's a special only for first-time depositors. So make sure you get in there, place those plays, and hopefully you win some money with Underdog. They're a lot of fun to use. And follow us on the Sports on Tap, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere we post our daily picks. Thanks for watching. My name is George on Tap, and we'll see you guys next time.